everyone, welcome back to the channel for another episode of TibiaME. My name is Xenius. Let's get right on into it because this took me a while to record, and I can't actually remember how long this video is or how long this episode might end up being just because of how tedious it is. So please be aware before you get into this quest that it might take a while. At the beginning of this, I want to show you a little cool thing. It's under offline hunting, and it basically gives you a selection of things that you want to hunt while you're offline. I didn't do this immediately. I just kind of looked at the different selections that I had and kind of which one was the lowest level, just because I don't really know how offline hunting works. I don't know if you can die during offline hunting or if you just hunt and you gain the experience of it. But basically, I'll explain a little bit more about what happens after I explain what I'm doing here. So, you're going to be teleported to this new area where you're going to find these cultist-looking guys around. They are going to be doing holy damage to you, but they are weak to fire. So I have a fire attack or a fire weapon equipped. And a hit spell right there. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up to these statues that are in the center of each room, and you're going to use your ceremonial dagger in order to move them. That's the only way that they can be moved. So that's what you're going to want to do in order to get them to go into the pools. So whenever you're in these different areas, you're going to want to move them all into the same pool. So I started out by moving the statue into the pool of fire on each of these. So you're going to go around. There's one to the right, left, up, and down. And you can do them in any order. It doesn't really matter. I think I show it here in a second, but you don't want to be dumb like I am about to be just now. I move the statue right here up into the middle, and that way you can't really move it left or right like you need to. You can't move on top of these pools or the dirt or anything like that. So I had to end up coming back and having it reset. But if it resets, you have to start all over by going back through the fire. The portal fire that you came through on the way here. So if you get into a situation where the statue won't move, go back through the portal, and then you can start all over again. So I did that. I went ahead and went through it all again. I didn't show it because it does take a long time. I think I recorded this episode for like an hour. So this does take a long time, including like all of the new upgrades to the skills that I have. So after you put them all into the fire, you're going to be transported to this new area. Now be aware whenever you're going through this area, there are certain parts of the ground that will hurt you in each individual area. So if you'll notice in the fiery area, there are a bunch of cracks on the ground. Every time you step on the cracks, you're going to get damage. And it's not a lot of damage. It's like 8 or 10 health per time. So anyone can really handle it, but it's just going to hinder you from regenerating whenever you're attacking an opponent or you're fighting an opponent. So if you're in combat, you're trying to regain health, don't run over these cracks because it will hinder you from moving forward as quickly as you might want. Or if you have potions or you have meditate equipped or whatever it is that will help you in this area, that might help speed things up. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go around, down and around, and then come up to the center where there's going to be a little altar type thing of fire. You're going to walk up to it. You're going to grab that fire element that's on it, and then you're going to exit back the way you came. And basically you're going to repeat this for each of the elements. So here's the altar. You grab the elemental fire, and then you leave. So basically after you get back, you're going to want to come back and you're going to want to do the same thing but for a different element. So instead of putting the statue into the pool of fire, you're going to put it in the next one, and I think it should be the pool of water. Let's go ahead and wait to see what I do here for a second. No, I go for air next. So you're going to want to go around and you're going to want to put all of the statues into the air element pool or area, whatever you want to call it. and then you're going to go back through the portal and make your way down to the air element. This one's going to be a little bit different because instead of cracks on the ground, there are these little cloudy areas that you're going to encounter. Don't step in the clouds because the same thing is going to happen where you will be damaged if you step through them. Luckily, your wolf or your pet doesn't get hurt if they step in this area, and sadly, your opponents, your enemies, don't get hurt either, but you do, as you can tell. You can kind of see me make the decision in this little area of like, do I want to take all of the damage going through it, or do I want to go around? If you'll notice on the sides, you see little kind of off areas that allow you to go around. It takes longer to go that way. You take less damage, but it does take a longer amount of time. There are fewer areas with clouds in those areas, so you can make your way through with less damage being taken. It just takes longer. So it's really a lesser of two evils. It's really, what do you want to encounter? Do you want to take more time, or do you want to take less damage? For warriors, I don't think you really have much to worry about because you're already such high level characters or high health characters that you don't have to worry about it. But for wizards who have less health and less defense, you might want to consider going around. So you get the air element there, and then you go back through and you do the next element. Of course, apparently, I don't know which I'm going to do next. So go ahead and follow whatever it is that I do. I want to say water, but there it is. I do water. See, I knew I was doing water at some point. I knew it. It's basically the same song, third verse in this case, for when you go back through the portal. This next area is going to have some icy spots, so make sure not to step on the ice. This time I go to the left and I go all the way around. And now that I'm thinking about it, I wasn't thinking about it while I was attacking or while I was going through the area, but now that I think about it, I think I encountered more opponents, more monsters on the long way around than I did when I took the shortcut. So now that I'm thinking about it, you might want to go the shortcut just because you're going to have less combats. You'll get less experience overall, but you won't have to fight as many opponents. So I think this is a good time to kind of talk about that offline hunting. You kind of select a beast, a monster that you want to hunt while you're doing offline. You have 6 hours total that you can hunt once you log off. And it's kind of pros and cons. I saw some people talking about it, how they didn't like it just because it uses up your stamina. So the stamina that you have while you're in game, you're fighting, you're attacking monsters, it uses that stamina up. So when you log on, you're lower on stamina, you're not fully recharged and ready to attack or get the full experience that you could for whenever you're normally online and hunting. If you're not aware, when you log on, you have a certain amount of stamina, and then the lower it gets, the less experience you get whenever you're getting experience from monsters. So that's one thing that you have to consider, but I just logged on just to check it because I wanted to be able to inform you guys in a way that was helpful. I ended up getting around 29,000 experience during my time offline, and because I was offline for a couple of days, I ended up regenerating my stamina in the time that I was off. So I lost stamina for those 6 hours that I was off, but I ended up gaining it back just because I was off for a whole other day. So I think it's worth it. I really, really like it. So I would recommend doing it whenever you're getting offline because it's free experience. You're getting thousands upon thousands of experience during your offline, not just quests and not just hunting. So I would recommend it. It's a great thing that I'm going to start doing. I'm going to log on at least once a day to kind of reset that, just so I can go ahead and get that experience while I'm off. So a couple of things here. First off, you saw me kind of speed running through the statues. I didn't realize it until the very last one, but basically the statues reset after a certain amount of time. So if you take too long in between the first one you push into the fire and the second one you push into the fire, it will reset. So what I encountered that one time is I ended up taking too long. So by the time I got to the last statue, it had reset. And so I had to go back through the portal and I had to reset everything that was going on there. So make sure to do it in a certain amount of time because you do have a time limit on that. And also for this area, I don't like the ground. So this is where you're going to be going for the element of ground. If you didn't notice, I put them all into the ground square. And this one has no defining features for when a stone, rock, whatever these things are going to come out of the ground. So at least I couldn't see it. If y'all know a way that you can tell which area is going to hit you, please let me know, because I couldn't see any rhyme or reason for when it happened. It just would randomly happen. And sometimes, as you can tell, it's blocking off certain areas that I can't go through. And luckily, I was able to get pushed past them into the way that I needed to go. But it seems completely random because eventually they do reset. They do end up opening up, but they don't always happen at the same time. So when I come back and I do different areas, or I step on different sections of the floor, the same thing doesn't happen where a stone appears. So this one is random. This one's weird. I don't know that you can follow in my footsteps and not get hurt or go the other way or whatever it is that you think is best, just because it seems completely random. So if you know a way that you can avoid those stones, please let me know down in the comments below, because I couldn't find it. The only thing that I could tell is there's these little stone crumbled areas. You can kind of see there's two of them. There's one right above me where the wolf is, and then we're passing by it just there. So I know that those areas spawn stones, but the rest of this area, it's completely open. So I think I'm gonna walk over here to the right, as you can tell, and I'm about to be blocked off. That area didn't have any defining features saying that there was going to be stone. And then I walked past that one square that I had walked through earlier, and I didn't get hit. And when I walked back through, I did. So seems completely random. So I don't really know. This one is kind of the most frustrating area for me, just because I couldn't find a rhyme or reason for it. So up to the top is where you're going to get the final element. I think it's the earth element. And then we're going to go back to that main area, and we're going to do something a little bit different next time. So when we get back there, I'm going to point it out, and I'm going to make sure that we do it the correct way. So when we get back over here to the right, we're going to start off with a specific element. So each of these statues now have to go into a different location. So you're not going to be doing them in the same one. This one over here to the right is water. This one over to the bottom is going to be fire. I believe I'm going to do the left one next, and I'm pretty sure that one's air. So if you're doing the quest right now, make sure that I finish this video right here. Yep. So the one over to the left is going to be air, and then the one up to the top is going to be ground. So right, fire. Nope, sorry. Right, water. Down, fire. Left, air. Top, ground. You're going to be transported to this new location, and you're going to use each of the elements in each of these locations. So come over to the water, use the water element. Go over to the fire, use the fire element. Over to the air, use the air element, and then over here to the ground, and you'll use the ground element. I don't think it matters whether or not you go in a specific order, but then you're going to come down through those little cages, and you're going to go over to the left in order to finish the quest. This I was a little confused about, but you're going to go over here to these little purple circles and be transported back to Legma. Get back and pass the judgment of the goddess. You know Defiler and can go. What about the others? They took part in defiling and must face judgment. Talk to Chief Shaka and at the crawl about their sentences. Just exit the halls and then go south. Goodbye, Baba Samba. Baba Samba. That's weird. That's a tongue twister somehow. So you'll go out to the stairs, and you'll come down to where this portal is, and you'll see Shaka, where we're going to be for the next quest. So this was a little bit of a long one, as I said at the beginning. It takes me a while, at least, because you have to do all of the statues 5 separate times, and then you have to go through and collect each of the elements. So it takes a while. If you're starting this quest, make sure you have a little bit of time before you go back through. I covered the offline hunting. Again, I just checked my account, and I have, give or take a couple thousand. I think it was 29,000 experience that I gained from offline hunting, and I gained all of my stamina back. So it's something I would absolutely recommend. It's what I'm going to be doing every single day from here on out. I mean, it's free experience. You'll go up no telling how many levels in a short amount of time because of it. Hopefully, especially if you aren't playing every day. Me, I play a couple times a week so that I can record these episodes, and then I'm offline quite a bit. So hopefully that's going to help me level up enough so that I can help you guys in time to show you the next quest. So what I was saying about doing different quests in order to get more experience, I think this is the way to go, just because it's easier and you don't even have to be on to do it. So absolutely recommend it. And yeah, I think that's what I'm doing from here on out. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this quest, please let me know down in the comments below. It's very technical and can get a little confusing, so I can understand if you need help with this quest. So thank you so much. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.